Okay, if you can't hear me or you can't type in the chat box, there's nothing else I can do. Sorry about your luck. All right. What I'm going to do now is the chem lease. So I've stripped these with acetone of the wax that was on it before. And now comes the chem lease. If you're just joining in, I've started the stream. I've made sure all the settings were right. If you can't type in the chat, there's nothing I can do. That's tritetramine. This is the chem lease here. Type in the chat box so I know that it's working. Give me a break. We need 3 coats of this. That's one. This stuff here is so much nicer. Oh man, it's fucking aggravating. Is this working? Of course. Not ready to fuck it, this shit. If it ain't working, nothing I can do. Yep. It's working. Man, this shit stinks. Not as bad as the Teta, but it stinks. Now I need to measure this again because I forgot which is the. There we go. We got plenty chat. Because I forgot which end is the big end. Somehow I need to mark that. Looks like I've been pounding on this end pretty good, so this is probably the small end. This is probably the big end. Yeah. Okay, this one right here. This is some amazing stuff. You wouldn't think that these few drops that I'm using, but that's why it's $300 a gallon. It beats the hell out of that wax, that Pardol stuff. They will just fall apart. Of course, it helps that I can pry these apart too. And the nice thing about this stuff is here I'm coating this with Chemlease. With the Pardol, you have to do it every time. With this stuff, you can get about 4 or 5 pulls out of the mold without having to do this again. Just go right to resin. Let's see what they had to say here. That's good. Sanding is good. Okay, we got to do this 3 times. If I don't want a catastrophic lockup. If I seem aggravated when somebody calls me, it ain't you. It's just that every time that I do something, somebody's got to have the phone ringing. I want to go back to 1975 when the phone was on the wall and you could leave it off the hook. Shit. I guess I'm going to have to start turning it off. But thank you for letting me know the chat wasn't working. That was a good, but you can just text next time. That's one thing you guys got to understand. There's 3,500 guys that are texting me and calling me and driving me nuts. But at least it ain't Al Rabe at 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning anymore. That guy used to drive me nuts. Nice guy, but son of a gun. You sleeping? Well, that's what normal people do at 3 o'clock. I don't think this will matter. I need to get my buffer mounted and polish these things up really good. You know what? I still got resin on this thing. We don't need no stinking lockup. There we go. This piece here, I could beat it out real easy, but best to have it all cleaned up. So, for those who are just joining, the price of these tanks have just went up. I couldn't believe when it was $10 for 2 tubes. 2 copper tubes, 1/8" copper. Plus the JB weld I had to buy, so, you know, $25. Of course, that $25 doesn't go into all this, but the $10 does for the 2 tubes. So Wendy's old price of 10 years ago would have probably been right. When I bought Casminato tanks, they were $100. Actually, they were 28 million yen or whatever the hell they were, about $110. I'll explain the composite here as soon as we get these. We got a minimum of one more time. We'll let it air for a second. So I got a half an hour in this process already. Now we'll take these off. I hate wearing gloves. Makes your hands sweat. Okay, so what else do we need for this job? I got my piece of tow. The tow goes on the small end. It wraps around. I got my clamps. I got that clamp for this one here, plus the 2 little ones. I got the bolts. I got the molds. I got the carbon cut and the glass cut and the end caps cut. I got the beam set to 6.5 grams. And we'll weigh the teta out. This is triatetamine, wherever how you say it. Nasty stuff. Smells like almonds, so you know it's poison. It's like cyanide. Okay, that's the 6.5 grams of that. It's 13 per hundredweight. We're going to mix 50, because that's what it ain't much in there. I'll put 50 in a cup and then add that. We'll have 57 grams. It's still over an ounce of shit. Of course, it all get, a lot of it gets squeegeed out. And I'll have a little left over that I can glue this end cap on with. You ordered a 5 and a 6. That looks good. So this one gets glued on. Let's rough up the end here. Close enough. Yep. And that fits good. We're gonna have to wipe it out with alcohol. Let's do another coat of Chemly so we get the some more gloves. Let's check the chat. So I need one more coat of Chemlease on this. I need to measure that too to see which is the big end. It fell down here. Didn't make mine on YouTube. Not all the text is going through. Well, there is nothing I can do. That's on YouTube. Complain to YouTube. It seems that the internet in whole is having glitches. YouTube is not my site, so I have no control. This last week has been, this ain't working and that ain't working. Oh, shit. What can I do? Nothing I can do. I bet if you do a search, is YouTube having issues? They are. Okay, we want to set this to 50. Set that to 50. I'm websited out for a while. Okay, so we need 50. So that goes on here. Now we got to chem lease this one more time. You know what? Okay, I ain't using the gloves for this. I'll put them on when I do the EFON. I am websited out. Last coat. I die because of this. You'll be the first to know. I love this stuff. God, it's so good. It makes that other stuff look, it's terrible compared to this. Of course, this is what they use in a professional shop. Okay. I got about half a pint left of it. Okay. All right, molds are good to go. And we're half hour in on this job. Molds are good to go. We need to measure this and see which is the big end. I believe it's this end, but we'll see. We got 88. Let's see. 85. Yep, this is the big end. Pound on this end. There's 5 thousandths taper in that. God, I can't keep my shit together. Gonna have to sand my box to get that paper towel off of there. Must have had thinner on a paper towel and set this on it. Oh well. All right, before we do that, let's get the alcohol and prepare to glue this together. We'll glue this together first and get it set over there. The alcohol we can deal with. Looks like I'm about out of that too. Let me answer you guys. Somebody had a dope question on the forum. What goes over? It's all dope in the United States is made by Consolidated Coatings in Escondido, California. And how they got that deal, I have no idea because of the environment people. But they were asking about Aerogloss and Certified and SIG and Brodak. You can paint, any one of those paints I mentioned over Aerogloss. You can't paint Aerogloss over anything. The reason being is it's MEK based. Brodak and Randolph are close to the same mixture, but Brodak has less pigment in it. Certified, Acme, there's another one too, is just a generic dope, and you can paint that over anything. Well, you can't paint dope over any enamel, period. Any dope over any enamel. Enamel is mineral based, meaning it's a very weak thinner. So the stages are Aerogloss, MEK based, which is the hottest thinner out there. Then you got Randolph and Brodak, and please guys, don't use clean strip thinner in it. You think that it's working, but it ain't really. Use Randolph thinner. Anyhow, that same with 3608S, DuPont. Yeah, it thins it out, but it don't really bond good. It's not the right chemical makeup. So you got MEK base paint, then you got lacquer paint, and then you got the enamels, which is a mineral spirits base. And any dope will soften enamel. You can paint enamel over anything because it's weak. Okay, we got that ready to go. So I guess we'll do that first when I get this stuff mixed up. Now I need a spatula to spread this shit out. And a couple of acid brushes. Where is the spatula? There it is. And an acid brush. Spatula, acid brush. This is a Bondo spreader, no big deal. Acid brush I used for these. Clean all the old shit off of this. Now these are windy molds. These are the ones that you see in the Wendy's old movies from 10 years ago. My tanks, I think, are 2/10, or yeah, so it'd be 7 grams. They weigh 7 grams more than Wendy, just for the simple fact I'm using better material, thicker material. These tanks weigh 1 ounce. His weigh 8/10, which is 8 times 7. Oh, no, wait a minute. 8 times 2.5. 2.8. So his tanks are, mine are 28 grams, somewhere close to 28, and his are probably 25. And now that I'm using copper tubing, they might be a little bit heavier. I use aluminum in mine. But the guy that wanted me to make these tanks specified copper. Couldn't take a tank I already had made up. Gotta be special. I've heard people talk about galvanic corrosion, carbon on aluminum. Shit. You ain't gonna have an airplane long enough for that thing to corrode. It'd take 30 years. And I doubt it would do anything in 30. Come on off there. There we go. Okay, I got that. Now, I'm just going to eyeball 50 grams in that, and then I'll pour this into that cup because I can't control that big gallon jug. And are these ratios that critical? Who knows? At least now when I get this done, I can get my Aries started. But I promised him that once I got the website working, we'd do this. Yeah. Didn't take your what? Oh, now it did. Yeah, YouTube's having issues. I don't host this. I mean, when I say host, this is not my website. It's YouTube's site. I have no control over what YouTube does. But that's soon to change as far as video goes. I think I'm going to host my own. I know I'm going to host my own magazine. All I hear is talk about it, the magazine, this, that, and that. Hell with it, I'll just do it myself. That's the problem with large organizations. You can't get one guy to say this is what's going to happen. You got to go through committee and have 2-3 people talk about it and think about it. I just do whatever I think is right. Is I just do. Okay, so now we got a clod in there. Let's see if we can get 50 grams. Wait, this stuff stinks. Oh, you were supposed to wear a respirator, whatever. Can't believe I didn't get enough in that cup. It ain't gonna take much more. This stuff's heavy. That's it. That is it. I knew it wouldn't take much more. This stuff's too expensive to waste. $100 a gallon. Probably more than that now. Yeah, we lost a little. I could let it drain. I'll just throw it out. You can't do that. Yeah, I can. So by the looks of it, and this little paper cup size here, I think I might have to get a bigger cup because 7 grams of this poured into that will be overflowing. Let's see if I got a clear plastic cup. I think they're 2 1/4 or 2.5 ounces. So them are 2 ounce. Okay. We got 35, 7. We'll be all right. We're going to run a little long today. I'm going to get this job done and then we'll finish up. Of course, it's buried behind all this kind of shit here. Okay. Slowly but surely, I'm moving stuff around so I can operate a little more, thinning out the field, so to speak. Here we go. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, think about all, you don't think about all the little shit, all the plastic cups, the popsicle sticks, the wax paper, that goes into this. You really amortize it, it out. There's a lot of shit that goes in this. Yep. That'll do it. Let this sit for a second. Oh, I scratched my nose with epoxy. What do we got going here? Yeah, well, I'll guarantee that this Teta will set epoxy. I don't know what's in it. It smells like cyanide, so it smells like almonds, so that it's got to have some shit in it. The bottle comes in a foam case, so that you don't break it. So it's got skull and crossbones on it, and I know that it's a hazmat item. So, and that shit there's got, at EPON 862's got warnings about hazard and all that crap on it. It causes skin irritation, allergic, yeah, whatever. It ain't good. That's good enough. That's good enough. So the count is on. Get that out to the trash tomorrow. Okie dokie. Yeah, if this didn't set up, it would be catastrophic because it'd be hard to get off the mold. Be gumbo. So this tank will get finished tomorrow, and I don't know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow, Friday. And then this tank here will get finished the next day. Or maybe, so they won't go out till next week. But we're getting them done. Okie dokie. Why is my nose always itch when I got gloves on. Okay. So I take the epoxy. Might have got too heavy. Been a while since I made these. No, we'll be all right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Man, does this stink. Got to get it down through, make sure that the carbon is saturated. So like I said, the trick is, I don't know what weight this carbon is. It's light, but I think it's a 16K or something like that. But the trick is to get the glass, 3/4 ounce glass saturated onto the carbon, and to have the resin flow down in the carbon so the outside of the tank is smooth. There we go. Okay. Get her centered up here. And just roll a taco. A burrito. I put this on wax paper so that I usually use tinfoil, but I didn't have none. So I'm hoping this will work. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. It'll work. The way I'm doing this gives you 4 layers. Carbon, glass, carbon, glass, carbon, glass, whatever, 4 times. I don't like it. It didn't come out quite in the right spot. Shit. Tighten it up. There we go. There it is. Let's see, we need to have this on this end. We're only going to cut the center out of it, so it'll be fine. Get my big clamp over here and use it. Okay, that's no good. We need more clampage. I guess I could. Only problem is I'm going to get goop all over my clamp. Take off and waste another pair of gloves. I'll put these on it. want to use them, but so be it. Okay. Now, I need to get gloves on real quick and get that carbon on there, the toe, and get the end caps laid up. Hey, frog. Phew, that shit stinks. Okay. Let me set the beam scale out of the way, or back some, so that I can set it right here on this box. Set this off the bench, or off the surface anyway, so I can get a place to work. Oh, I gotta have that carbon toe on there. You guys don't know what that toe is, but when I show you how I take them apart, you'll know what it's for. If I don't get this thing glued, this other one glued together tonight, it's not a big deal. I gotta have enough maybe have enough epoxy to do this tank. But I gotta get this tank laid up for sure. Because I'm not mixing up another batch of shit tonight. Put some baby powder on my hands, or in the gloves. There we go. Maybe. Okay, so let's saturate this toe in this excess epoxy right here. This toe acts as a stop to keep that carbon from going through the male mold or female mold when I'm beating on it. Because this has got to come out with a hammer. And these are just tricks I learned by myself. Nobody, you know, I watched a couple Wendy videos, but those videos aren't really that explanatory enough to really do this job. But I got enough from it and talking with Danny, thinking on my own to get this job done. This gets cut off with a bandsaw anyway, so you know, a lot of shit we do is pretty crude until it's finished. Silk span is crude. But that'll dry up, make a turd on the end here. And when I beat it through, whack, it won't allow the center. I know you can't see. It won't allow the center to go through there, so that's on there. Okay, let's lay up these end caps. And how I do that is well, first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this. We'll get rid of that. Now come over and clean up my workbench. Okay. Resin goes in. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and add the resin to that and get it situated, get it glued on. So how I do these end caps, they go around the inside like so, and basically puddle the whole bottom. Then go around the outside where I've sanded. And I gotta wait to the B stage, and then I'll go around and fill that crack. So this gets let's see. Need to cut that off. No glass first. It's got to be carbon. Of course, I got shit all over my hands. Messiest process. We'll get these cut off on the next ones first. We'll get them cut off first. So we got carbon, glass, carbon, glass. And I don't know if this is how Wendy made his or not. He might only use one layer. But I like shit that's gonna last. So let's cut all these. Couldn't get it on the bias with the tape on there. Could not get it on the bias. Okay, that's that. Let's cut these other two. Okay, we got that. Let's get some more resin going here. Oh, this stuff's getting hot. I gotta move. She's kicking off. You know why it gets hot, right? It's called exothermic reaction. If I would have poured it out on the table, it would take longer to cure. But concentrated in one spot, and we made it, so that's good. And I didn't overcook this either. I made it right to the spec. Okay. Now with these, it's better to have more in it than less, because we're going to smash it out and it's going to drain out on the table here. So this thing might start smoking in a minute. Okay. May start smoking. Good enough. Maybe. These aren't much of a clamp, but we'll try them until I find some more. That ain't gonna work. There's shit clamp. Where are my other ones? There's one. If I was out in the garage, I'd have about 100 of them. Oh, this is B staging, so I gotta get after this. Oh shit. Yeah, my ends are glued on with the same resin the tank's made with. I don't like, you could use JB Weld, but to me that would look rather amateur. Yeah, it's almost B stage, almost hardened. Shit. We made it, just barely. I would have had to wait until the next batch. See, that's hard now. When it kicks up, man, it's just like that. So that's it. We have made 1 1/4 fuel tanks tonight. In about 2 hours. And then I got some work tomorrow to do. But we'll be working on the air reach tomorrow. And I can have my bench back. The bad thing about this is I need to do it twice more. Now I got a 5-ounce tank here, but it has aluminum tubes on it. I think it's 5. Exactly 5. So we're going to take this one and put it in my Aries. So we're great shape. We got a tank for the Aries. You guys got any questions? I'm sorry that I seemed a little edgy at the beginning of this video with the phone calls and all that. I just absolutely hate it. If you got something to say to me while I'm online, just text it to me. Because, you know, sometimes I think it's an emergency. I got to stop what I'm doing and do something else. Stop what you're doing and do something else. I'm going to have to get a new one of these. So we got an hour and 18 minutes. And I don't know how many viewers we had on here, how many members we gained. Or I know we got no super chats, but it's the way it goes. Yeah. That should work. I mean, that won't hurt. But that little clamp is nothing. Like shit. Like nothing. What I need is to get these bolts. I need them shorter so that I can screw them down. I can run it down with an impact and tighten the crap out of that thing. But I also saw Wendy use the clamps, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get the bolts for both of these. You know, run it down and tighten the crap out of it. Alrighty, I really appreciate you watching. If you're watching my videos and you get anything out of it, please subscribe. 5,007 viewers, subscribers now. Will I ever hit 10,000? Probably not. I don't think I'll be doing this another 14 years. Because it took 14 years to do 5,000. Unless this channel takes off like a rocket. And there's some that do, but I don't think that our puny little sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it, is going to do much. And it's a shame, because it really teaches you a whole lot. You know, quality of your work is in direct relationship to your craftsmanship. Quality and thoroughness of your work is in direct relation to your craftsmanship. And of course, the finish starts with the first piece of wood cut. It looks like she's sealed pretty good. 24 hours, that'll be all cured and sealed up. Rip these molds out, and I will have to bond another cap to that tank, and then I can put the 4 copper tubes in. I just can't believe it. 2 copper tubes, $10. This was a dime when I was a kid. $10. Two copper tubes, $10. I had to order another pack because this is enough for one tank. And then I got the 632 nuts and just all that shit just keeps tacking on. So if you want a tank from now on, they're $125. You should have got into it for $100 before I realized how much I'm spending on these things. Let alone the labor. I ain't making nothing on them. All right, like, subscribe, share. I will see you tomorrow. I appreciate your support, and thanks for watching. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.